Hello, everyone. Welcome to GE2 Purposive Communication. And in this video, we will talk about essential terms that are relevant to the study of types of speeches. And it is operationally defined to establish a common frame of reference as to how the text work in your chosen field or career. This video also, you will encounter different terms as we go through the study of different types of speeches. Well, public speaking may be scary to many people. And that's what this lesson trying to imply as we go along with our discussion with chapter 7, types of speeches and public speaking. In fact, you who is listening right now, maybe consider yourself as one of them, and you have that struggle that you feel you have the threatening feeling of delivering a speech. In fact, for many speakers, this experience may be one of the most nerve-wracking one, and you feel like it is a challenging engagement in the field of public speaking. However, public speaking is not an impossible task. Delivering a speech is not impossible. Why? Because as we go along in this video, you will going to encounter the different points on how to deliver a speech that will lessen the nervousness and the anxiousness that you are going to feel if you are going to deliver a speech in front of many people. So just continue listening and watching this video, and you will learn a lot from this topic. So again, this video we will talk about chapter 7, types of speeches and public speaking. So we will just focus on the types of speeches. Perhaps you already encountered the different types of speeches in your senior high school days, particularly on your English 1 oral communication. And I'm pretty sure you already encountered and performed different types of speeches. Now in this video, we will learn 4 different types of speeches. And the first one would be read speech. Read speech, just an overview. It is done by reading from the written speech. This is very common, and you are doing this from time to time. The next one is the memorized speech. From the word itself, memorized, so it entails memorizing your speech. So if you are doing the memorized speech, you don't have any copies, or maybe if there's any copy but just an outline, because you already memorized your speech. The third one is the impromptu speech, or the very common impromptu speaking. Impromptu speech or impromptu speaking, it allows a speaker little or no time to prepare the speech. And the other side of impromptu speech is the extemporaneous talking or extemporaneous speech. It enables the speaker to organize the speech. That means that the speaker has the time to prepare the speech. So we have read speech, memorized, impromptu, and extemporaneous speaking. So these are the 4 types, or the 4 types of speeches that we are familiar with. So it refers to the prepared read speech, referred to the prepared speech beforehand, and just to be read by the speaker during his or her speech. And if we say memorized speech, refers to the speech that is being well versed by the speaker, as he or she does not bring a copy while delivering a speech. While impromptu speech, it refers to an abrupt speech, unexpected by a speaker. Usually, the very common impromptu speech or impromptu talking that we are doing is the all recitation inside the classroom. It's an abrupt speech. That is the speaker unexpectedly prepared his or her speech. And we also have the extemporaneous speech. It refers to the prepared type of speech since the speaker is given an allotted time to organize his or her speech. So these are the things that we need to remember. So we have four um, types of speeches. So let's have first the read speech. Now, read speech, basically a practice of reading a speech that is quietly or quite common nowadays. This is very common nowadays. This one, no, sorry. This one, the very common. Let's have the read speech. So read speech is very common nowadays, especially so since people are becoming so busy. So instead of memorizing it, they just going to read the speech. So this type of delivery is done by reading from the written speech. So the disadvantage of this type of speech is it prevents an informal and conversational delivery of the speech. Why? Because some of the speakers doing the read speech, they're just merely reading it. Perhaps if you're a very good speaker, you are reading and at the same time you are glancing with your audience. But oftentimes you are just reading your script or you are just reading your speech. That's the disadvantage of it. Moreover, eye contact with the audience may be sacrificed. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say earlier. If you are doing the read speech, oftentimes what you're doing is just you reading your speech or you're just reading your script without glancing your audience, or maybe if you're glancing, just a minimum time because you are focusing on your written speech. So that's what we call read speech. Next is the memorized speech. So this entails memorizing your speech. That's the one that I mentioned earlier. At present, due to the very busy schedule of people, yes, that's very true. Only few speakers opt to memorize their speech. That's very true. Memorizing a speech takes time, and because a lot of people are busy, so they don't have the time to memorize the speech, so they chose to have the read speech. So instead of go or other means of delivery. So that's for memorized speech. For impromptu speech, we have this type allows a speaker little or no time to prepare the speech. So usually this speech is a contest trying to check the capability or the intellectual capability of a speaker who tries to discuss a certain topic for no or little time to prepare the speech. While the extemporaneous speech, it implies or it talks about um, allowing a speaker little, or I mean, it is the speech delivered with some prepared structure, such as you have your notes or you have your outlines. And these notes or outlines enable the speaker to organize the speech. So these two, we have the impromptu and the extemporaneous speech. These are two common contests that we've heard in every competition that we have. And these two are trying to check the comprehensibility of the speaker and the speaking ability of the speaker. Again, it varies because if we say impromptu, it has no time, or maybe if there's time, just a little. While the extemporaneous, the speaker has plenty of time to think and organize his or her speech. So that's the four types of speeches. Now, let's proceed to the very common question. We are very much familiar with these four types of speeches, but the question now is how to deliver a speech. Any of those type of speeches, how to deliver it. How to make our speech more comprehensible. How to deliver our speech more audible and less stress, and our readers really understand what we are trying to say. So always remember that to deliver an excellent speech, successful speakers should view a speaking engagement like doing a stage performance. So you have to imagine if you are doing or if you're delivering a speech, you have to imagine that you are doing a stage performance. You're in the center of the stage. So you don't or you need to look at yourself. You need to look at yourself as the star of the show. Okay, so you have to assume and you have to imagine that you are doing a stage performance and you are the star of the night. Thus, you have to prepare and rehearse your speech until it becomes natural and spontaneous. So, very logical. If you are the star of the night, basically you have to do the things that you need and you want to do for you to be able to stand out. Same with public speaking or delivering a speech. For you to be able to stand out and deliver a speech perfectly, you need to consider a lot of things. First is to have to be prepared. You have to rehearse so that everything will become natural, spontaneous, so that you alone would be seen as the sole authority in the room. So that's what I'm trying to say earlier, that if you already rehearsed your speech, you are prepared enough, then that's the time you will catch the attention of your audience. So that's pointers on how to deliver a speech.